Kwam Yasharala. All praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. City. Lord willing, as we find, we'll get into, we're going to discuss about this city. City, a large town. One of Italy's most beautiful cities. Let's get to, let me scroll down here for a quick. I want to see. An inhabited place of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village. My point for bringing this out is we're going to go into the city that's going to be destroyed, known as Babylon the Great. And one thing you're going to find out is that Babylon the Great is under a feminine vibration. City, a word that's similar to a city, metropolis. If we go down to the Greek, you see it says mother, meter, polis. Mother city. In the Greek, mother city or mother state, metropolis. You see these cities? Metropolis. So all these places in America have cities or is a city. Altogether, the population of America is that great city. With that, I want to get Jeremiah chapter 44, and I'm going to start at verse 16. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we will not hearken unto thee. Jeremiah was, prophesying, and these are the women saying they were not going to listen. But we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth, to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the cities of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. Verse 18, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, who is Asterisk, or better known as Asterisk, and back to 18, but since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. Our families have been broken up in this spirit, this feminist movement spirit. It's been a plan from the beginning by the government, by Esau Edom, the devil, to separate us as a people, especially during the 60s and 70s, when we started actually coming together. But as the elders say, a lot of people that was coming together that was Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Native Indians, we had no breath in us, no life. Until the time where Abba Bibbins, a.k.a., Salaki is saying a.k.a., for a fact, Elijah, came back to return the heart of the fathers to the children and the children to their fathers. To the Father. Verse 19, and when we burnt, I'm sorry, let me go back. Because it says at the end, it says, we have wanted all things. You've been wanting a husband, wanting a family, wanting your children to do right. Since the feminine vibration has been spread out to the nations of Israel on this side, over here in America, especially this great city, metropolis, mother city, all women have been beguiled by the devil to go against the men, causing all these things, so they're in want, causing all these things to happen, and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine, going broke. They got, y'all had the government assistance thing going on, for a minute, but that's breaking down. And you also see what's going on with these jobs. A lot of jobs, y'all got to work 2-3 jobs too now. Since you don't want a man, you don't want to serve a man. I'll put it that way. But whatever you don't do, somebody else will. Verse 19. And when we burnt incense to the queen of heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make her cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men. Without our men. Don't that sound familiar? With that, I want to go to, let's hit up, where you at? I'm going to Revelations 18 and 21 to get back to the city, the point of the city. Right, because this is nothing about bashing women, but we'll see. Revelation chapter 18, verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. That's over here in America. America will be a desolation. The great millstone, man. Ain't none of this stuff coincidence. To the elders and apostles of the great millstone, this word has been going out. To the Achaeum, doing the work, day in and day out. The word of the Lord is the sword, cutting even into the to the marrow, to marrow of the bone, destroying the whole fabric. 10, 20 years ago, the rulers of this world had it all figured out. Until Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai sped up the process. And he used them to do it through the internet. Let me get another scripture. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18. I'm starting at verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power. And the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That's how this place is going to be in the end. This great city, Babylon. Verse 30, Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 29. And the land shall tremble, and the land shall tremble and sorrow. For every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitation. So nothing's going to inhabit this place. This place is going to be all destroyed. Let's get Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. This is the warning to the Israelites, the hopeful elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, the so-called Native Americans, and the speckled bird. This is our warning to arise, to wake up from the drunkenness, the philosophies of man, the Christian church philosophies, Christmas, Thanksgiving, those philosophies. Celebrating your so-called African month, Black American month, Puerto Rican month, whatever. All these abominable things. If y'all were so concerned about money, why would y'all spend money on on holidays and traditions of men, even in the churches, that don't benefit you none, and not just bring your money all together. But y'all ain't gonna do that because y'all have been drunken with the wine of Babylon. This belief system. You're not just paying tithes, you're paying triple tithes, triple charity, triple donation. They need a donation to fix the church. They want to build a school for kids in the church building. They want to have a kitchen in the church building. You got to cook. You know, they got to cook your favorite food. You know, your abominable brew stew mixed with all the crab, lobster, shrimp, your ham hocks. You know, your baby back ribs. That's all that stuff is about. And all those things are abominable to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. But your mind, your brain is still seared, believing either it don't matter or the Lord don't care about his own word, what he said, you know? Let me get this Jeremiah. Oh no, I'm gonna go to Revelation. Revelation chapter 16, verse 19. And the great city, back to the city, metropolis, mother city, mother state. Matter of fact, let's see what that means. Let's see what state means. State definition. State definition. The particular condition that someone or something is in a specific time. Let's go to condition. State.
Condition.
The state of something with regard to its appearance, quality, or working order. Mother state. Get back here. Mother state. In the Greek, metropolis. The capital or chief city of a country or region. America is that country, the city. All together. Revelation chapter 16, verse 19 again. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell. And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And what's that? Let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 51. Thus says the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that raise up against me a destroying wind. Verse 2. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. That's the missiles, the fanners. Or when something's on fire, when you fan it, the more the fire grows. It brews up even more and more and more. By the elements, the combination of the flames and the fires and the H2, not the H2O, but the what's that? The oxygen. The oxygen actually helps the wind blowing, helps the fire grow even more. If you have a stubble and you put it on fire, and when you light it, when you blow in that stubble, it brings a poof, a burst of flame. And the more you fan that flame, the more bigger it grows. You know, if you understand. Verse 3, against him that bendeth like the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted up him in his girdling, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. And that's what America is being brought forth to be destroyed. Let's get back to that cup, though. Let me hold on. Let me get back to that cup. I'm gonna go back to Revelation chapter 16, verse 19. And the great city was divided into three parts, and the cities of the nations fell, And great Babylon came in remembrance before God to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. Jeremiah chapter 25. Then took I the cup of the out at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom the Lord hath sent me, to wit, Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, and astonishment, and hissing, and a curse, as it is this day. So to this day, the so-called Israelites are a hissing and a curse. We don't have no understanding of our royalty. We don't have no understanding of our God, our purpose, our actual inheritance given to us from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, B'Ashem Rakah Kudash. But in these last days of time, the 1/3 is waking up. They're being quickened, made alive. And these are some of the other nations. If you go down from 19, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and the princes and all his people. You go down to 21, it says Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon. That's the so-called Europeans or so-called white man, the so-called Japanese and the Chinese. You know, verse 22, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the Owls. You know, back in 20, it says the Philistines. You know, that's talking about the so-called Africans. Y'all not out of it. Y'all in it too. This cup is being passed to all these nations. Let's jump down to verse 26. And all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world, which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Sheshesh shall drink after them. So y'all getting in line right now to drink that cup that y'all gave to Israel. That fierce cup of anger from Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah, of wrath. Verse 27. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew, and fall, and rise no more, because of the sword which I sent among you. Verse 28. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, Thus says the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. You ain't got no choice. The children of Israel, we didn't have no choice. And this is our hope, man. This is our this is our good news. That the Lord didn't leave us, you know, to be destitute, to be in this hellish condition for the rest of our lives. Barakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. You know, I'm almost done with this, man. I'm going to get out of here in a minute. Verse 29. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly unpunished, ye shall not be unpunished. For I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout, as they that tread the grapes, against all the inhabitants of the earth. Yeah, and you know, when he come back from Bosra, his garment's going to be dyed, like he been stepping in the wine press. And no nations was there with him, destroying it. Many people are utterly going to be destroyed or die. All right, let me get back to our women. You know, this is the metropolis, though. This country, America, was given to our women. You know, let me play this, and then I got one more after this, and we're gonna call it the day. Leave off right there.
Who are in charge have programmed most of the black mothers to raise a whole family full of fuck motherfuckers. Bitches twerking, niggas sagging. Look at your family. If your family resembles this, the Caucasian people who are at the top of the pyramid of evil, I'm saying the Caucasian people in power who are at the top of the pyramid on the evil side of the game, they put the...
I don't know who this guy is. I think I've heard of him before. You know, but you know he's listening to the elders and apostles. You see that? You know, I don't know his religious background or where he stand at, but you know that knowledge, that wisdom is going out now. You know, since the 60s, from Abba Bibbins on down. Kahala Yula Yahaba Shimi Hawashah.
black mother right under there and give her all kinds of weapons to use against her family member, which is the man you made a baby by. We call it the baby daddy. But the truth is, that's a family member. Once you have a baby by somebody, you are not supposed to be going down there to the government, dropping their name, sending them out for a check. Because it splits up the family, and your children are walking around this motherfucker sagging and half naked and causing chaos everywhere. So we're talking about this shooter. It goes deeper than these motherfuckers. The shooters, I already know what happened. As soon as somebody say, oh, they was a man shooting, woo, woo, woo. Well, we know who do that. Who got the balls to say we know who do that? All y'all motherfuckers who at work, you can't even speak your mind because you will get fired if you say how you really feel about it.
And I got one more clip. You think she right?
One gender has consequences, one doesn't. And to say it's like equal, I just think isn't like fair, because like men, when they make a bad decision, they have the consequence immediately, where women don't. We're bailed out of everything.
How are we bailed out of everything?
Okay. Every bad decision that you make, you're bailed out of. If you want to sleep around, there's birth control. If you get pregnant, you don't want to keep it, there's an abortion. If you get pregnant and you want to get married to the guy and leave and take half, you can do that. And you can do it under the guise of being happy. And, you know, and society will accept you, and some simp will probably marry you after. And then on top of that, if you're bad with your money, what are you going to do? You're going to go to a women's shelter, or the government will pay you. If you leave and you're a single mother and you're the 5th baby mama or whatever, you can also go to the government. They'll pay you. What percent of men actually get laid? The other guys face consequences for their decisions. Like that.
Yeah. This is the end, y'all. This is the end. This queendom is done. To the hopeful elect of Israel, continue to hold on fast to what you have in this faith, in this truth. Lord willing, Abaratazah, Yahweh Shemi Hawashah. You know, with that, we're going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Ba'Shem Rukakodash. Double honor to our elders and the apostles of the great millstone. You know, to the best of our ability, let's come out of her, my people. May that be the words that we hear. May that be the words that we hear. When all destruction, when all else fails, when the end comes, may we endure to the end. Lord willing. Until next time, Israel, Shalom, and Barakatah.